This is almost unbelievable. So we have a story. It comes to us from Halo, who's the primary leaker of roster moves in Overwatch League, and we wouldn't care about just any old roster movement. The roster move in this case would be Marvel over to Valiant. Good for Marvel, finding himself a new team after being released by Boston there. It's been confirmed. We don't really care about the move itself. What's much more interesting about the move is it's a 30-day contract, which is the norm when you're signed mid-season like this. It's unfortunate, but the days of guarantees are gone in Overwatch League, and it's being funded, at least in part, by other players on the Valiant sending some of their money to him. What? How does that work out? These are teams that would have spent 20 million plus to get into the league. Now, maybe the current Valiant didn't do that. Maybe they bought it from another team who had spent 20 million plus to get into the league. But the point stands, these are supposed to be wealthy team owners that can afford this sort of thing. And sure, the teams aren't really making money anymore, but how did we end up in a situation where players are contributing their money to other players to get them hired? That just doesn't really make sense. And maybe you're thinking, oh no, it could be like an all-star team. And sometimes you'll see the all-star teams in the NBA, for example, go, let's build a super team by going, hey, we'll take a bunch of max contract players and get them each to accept a little bit less, or get some of our other players to accept less, so we can get more than normal onto the same team. Okay, sometimes they do that, and okay, sure, whatever. The players decided that they wanted to play with better players more than they wanted to get paid. But that's situations where the players are making millions of dollars. That's not situations like the Overwatch League, where most players are making very close to the league minimum. In fact, it seems very unlikely that these players, by contributing money to Marvel's salary, have not put themselves under the league minimum. So, is that a problem? Did the Overwatch League sign off on this? Did the Overwatch League not know about this? Is this going to be what causes the Overwatch League to do something? I don't know. But even beyond all this stuff, you're in a situation of how did you do your roster construction in such a way that this happened? If you look at this team, there's one tank, and you want to add a second tank. No problem. You want a second tank? That makes sense. I can live with that. Fine. But let's count the DPS players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You have 5 DPS players? That doesn't make any sense. 4 DPS players, where you have 2 starters and 2 subs, or you rotate them for specialists. That would be luxury. 5 is unheard of. And rather than cut one of these DPS players to make room for a totally reasonable second tag, you're asking your players to contribute and probably putting themselves under the league minimum salary by doing so. This just stinks. And PU, as far as I'm concerned. But what do you guys think? And how do you think this is going to go down? Do you think it's fine as long as none of them have put themselves under the league salary? Do you think it's something where they should never have even been asked to do this because they were probably just convinced to do this by their coach or maybe by management? That sort of thing, which seems kind of weird there? Or do you instead look at this and say, no, this is terrible, this should never have been allowed to happen? Or maybe you think the Overwatch League didn't know about this and now they're going to go fix this and say this move can't go through. I'm really curious what's going to happen here. Let me know your thoughts. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Overwatch and Overwatch 2 analysis, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.